But for Tottenham as well, I think it's also a lesson, isn't it, Dave, in how to deal with a team that defends so narrowly and gives you very limited room to even take a shot, because they struggled, didn't they? This kind of very, very intense, deep, low block. They're going to come up against that a few times this season against some very resolute defences, aren't they? And I guess right now it's probably the best time to get it out of the way and figure out how they can work through that in future.
Yeah, and it didn't really look like the goal was going to come, to be honest.
No.
In fact, Liverpool, looked quite threatening at times even after they went down to 9 men. On the break, I thought it was still a really good game. It just didn't look like it was going to happen for Tottenham. They kind of persevered there and tried, and they were relentless at the end. I think the last 5 minutes or so, they really actually put the pressure on, and it came from a great cross from Porro. It was just one of those awful balls that you've got to deal with, isn't it? And unfortunately, it came perfectly off Matip's foot and right into the top corner. But I think what I've been impressed with Tottenham about is that actually they've hung on in games when they've kind of not been on top. They've been able to kind of react to going behind. In the Arsenal game, I thought they were really impressive. Definitely, gone above my expectations in how they've progressed throughout the season so far. And it's good, like Miles says, it's just going to be interesting to see where they can go, really.
Yeah, I think
whether they could keep it up.
They'll no doubt be acknowledging how lucky they were in this game and just count their blessings, really, in many ways. But a lot of the players that are new to the club, I thought, played really well. Vicario is looking like a really good goalkeeper, isn't he?
Yeah, he did really well.
I just think even Udogie as well. Udogie had a shaky start to the game against Arsenal, but he contains Saka, he contains Salah. So even he looks like a really impressive player, doesn't he, with a good future. So, yeah, I don't think either team will be too concerned by this result.
Worth noting as well, you talk about teams that set up with a low block. They have got that added element now of James Maddison. Like he is unable to unpick positions. Teams will defend a lot worse than Liverpool did in this game, and they'll come up against a lot of teams that don't need to go quite so backs against the wall with 9 men. So having someone like that can unpick a lock in the way that he can, is huge for them. And with Son looking like he's back in some sort of form as well, obviously he got a goal, which is massive for him. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect of Spurs come the end of the season. Whether this is Spurs now, or whether it's a bit of a new manager bounce still.
Well, I think they're about
feels like it's going on a bit too long to be a new manager bounce.
They're about the same as they were this time last season, weirdly. I think they're a goal behind where they were this time last season. Look what happened there. So
true.
But the vibe and the whole feel of the whole mood of the club is totally different, isn't it, compared to what it was under Antonio Conte.
You mentioned, didn't you, Mike? I think it was week 4 last. There's a bit of a different dynamic going forward for them, though. We mentioned about Son's role in it. He is kind of picking up positions, I'd say, more advanced and a bit more central than he was when Kane was at the club.
Absolutely.
He has definitely lost the yard of pace, but he's not lost that instinct to sense chances and kind of spacing behind.